The football world is gradually coming to terms with the demise of Diego Armando Maradona as tributes continue to pour in from all over the world, from everybody, from the small to the great, all over. Diego Maradona recognized as an icon in the world of sports, and he will be sorely missed. Good evening and welcome to the show tonight. I'm Yemi Adebayo, and of course, it feels good to be here to take you on the trip across the money-spinning world of sports. Like I said earlier, the world coming to terms with the demise of the legend, the football legend, the man with a sweet left foot, the man a lot of people call the wizard, the man who could do amazing things with the ball, some things we are yet to see other people do with the ball. That's how good it was in his playing days. And in spite of all the things that have happened in his life after his active days in football, a lot of people choose to remember the things that he achieved while he was playing the round letter game. And so many people have fond memories of Diego Maradona. We could go on and on and on and on. But today, it's a day where we allow you see a lot of people pay their last respects to Diego Maradona and the honor that he is receiving. And first, let me just quickly introduce. I can't do everything by myself anyway. Let me introduce my partner. He starts the show with me, and he's going to be with me from now till the end of the show. Bolu Amuniyi, it's good to have you with me. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, we were praying that Diego Maradona shouldn't leave us, but he has left us.
Well, like you said, the eulogy, everything about him shows how important Maradona is. There are actually Europa League games today, and nobody's really talking about it. It's not even trending. Yesterday, I was seeing everything about Maradona trending, the name Diego Maradona, Napoli trending, Hand of God trending. It shows how important, how much of people he touched while playing. Yes, of the few distractions, but we don't care about it because we know Maradona, the footballer. And everything about Maradona's football is very, very iconic. Well, it's a sad loss to life, sad loss for Napoli that they had to say they would likely name their stadium after him, but definitely we can't begin to mention how important he was to Argentina as a country.
Wow, and that's it. In your picture, Etin Arantes, Don Nascimento, Pele, player a lot of people felt was his rival. I don't think they see each other that way, but two great icons, Diego Maradona there. I mean, we just show you pictures, his live in pictures, and I mean, that iconic number 10 jersey. I don't think there's any... Well, aside Pele, anyway. I don't think there's anybody that the number 10 will remind you of, like I said, aside Pele, than Diego Maradona.
Well, let me pick a word from, I listened to the Jomotibe when he said something to me. He said, number 10, legendary start, all those things are generational. That if you check people in their late 50s, 60s, they will always tell you it is Pele. Those probably in their 40s right now, late 30s will be telling it's Maradona. And the younger folks, there's nothing you will tell them that's with Ronaldo, Messi. No matter what. So I think it's more of the generational thing. There were talks of maybe they should retire the number 10. But when you think of Lionel Messi wearing number 10 now, you will not even think about it. They are definitely not the same, especially for Argentina. When people call Messi the greatest footballer of all time, people will tell you he's not even the greatest
in his country.
In his country. So I think it will be remembered. The number 10 will be remembered. Now you have to start thinking, who was worn number 10? You have to think, Ronaldinho did, but you won't take a blink to remember the name Maradona. At all. You will not. So I think I agree with you. It's the flashiest in quote number 10.
There's been a lot of famous number 10s. Michel Platini, Zinedine Zidane. All great players. But I've never seen anyone try to do the comparison. I don't think so. But then again, I mean, words fail us at times to describe. A lot of people, I mean, the younger generation will be looking at, why are these people talking about generation? Talking about Diego Maradona, and they had to go and see those things on bumpy pitches, on terrible surfaces. This guy could do anything with the ball.
Well, one unique thing about him, I remember, okay, I can't remember, I read and saw from
So later on, not when it happened.
he couldn't go for the 78 World Cup. He was too young. The 82 World Cup, that's where problems
Got
started.
red carded.
He was too young. And then when you look at football, then you know it's a completely different ballgame. Yeah. People were not kicking. I think
they don't have the kind of protection that they have now.
To touch any player's jersey, the ref
just goes down.
Penalty. Then he was frustrated till he got sent off. Then came back 4 years later as a more matured player, a don. And every England international will always remember the hand of God. If for nothing, the hand of God. And the second goal, I think a commentator in Nigeria was like 11 seconds, 6 players are down. And it took about 11, 12 touches from his half to the opposition half, including rounding the goalkeeper, then scoring. You cannot look at Maradona and tell me you can't say play. And one of the best things he ever done, yes, he won the World Cup with Argentina, a great achievement. He, like people are saying he won it alone, yes, but he was probably the main figure. But winning the league with Napoli. Yeah. The year before he joined Napoli, they finished 11th. Immediately joined, they moved up to 8th. The following year, I think they moved up to 3rd or 4th. Then the next thing, 2 years after I joined them, they won the Scudetto. And they didn't win it once. They won it again. They won the Coppa Italia. They won Europa League.
You know what? Since you're talking about Napoli, let's just quickly show you. Even though he said Maradona had a short spell with Barcelona, I went back to see those clips. The period wasn't long, but yet he still did amazing things, even with Barcelona.
Well, if you can't remember anything Maradona did at Barcelona, you should remember one thing. The fans at the Santiago Bernabeu stood up and applauded Maradona. It meant if nothing happened, if you can't remember that day, you can't see the clips. Okay, remember Real Madrid.
They've only done it for few players.
Ronaldinho was the second. I think Iniesta as well. But remember
only 3 people have enjoyed that
at the Bernabeu that day. Then imagine what Maradona would have done few or maybe 10 years or 20 years before that.
All right.
Madrid fans are probably one of the hardest fans you can ever see in world football. And for them to do that, not just for any opposition fan, for a Barcelona player, it means he did something great. He played about 30-something league goals and scored 22 league goals. So I think he did so well for Barcelona. Too short, but well, the small stint was very key.
Yeah, too short, but it's, key. All right, let's go to Etim Esin now and have that conversation. I think we can talk now. It's good to have you join us, and on a day where we're talking about someone who his own name was your nickname, and so talk to us how it felt when you learned of his demise.
Well, I just posted a tribute on my handle and on my social media about him. I mean, it was a very touching tribute I did because, I mean, I grew up in his era. I mean, you know, they keep comparing him with Pele and all that. And, you know, there was this war. Was it Falkland War back then in the 80s that the British took over an island from Argentina or thereabout. So before the 86 World Cup, he said he's going to revenge that war. I think his own war was on the football pitch. I couldn't even process when I heard the news that he passed away. And then, you know, outside football, he has his own demons. I mean, a great legend like him has it. Everybody say he was this, he was that. But I mean, let's not judge him from his life. Let's judge him from the joy of football he gave people all over the world. I mean, my only regret was that I never had opportunity to play against him in the World Cup. But I met him briefly in Naples when me and MKO was flying to congratulate the Cameroonians for making African proud in the 90th World Cup. I think what the legacy he left will be is undisputed, and the world will always remember the great Diego Maradona. It touches life, and people are not seeing the other empathy side of him. I mean, the charity side from the slum of Argentina, what he did to the kids from the slum. I mean, over this COVID-19 period, he donated his 86 jersey, and they bidded for it, and he shared the money for the less privileged. He did a lot. He did a lot.
Yeah.
He was an easygoing fellow, but the other side of him that people doesn't. Everybody has his own vices. I mean, the drugs, they drink, they booze, they party, they wild. It comes with the territory. But I mean, that's also a lesson the young kids we have to learn in life.
Yeah.
Have to change your lifestyle. Have to be more moderate. Have to live a healthy lifestyle. I mean, look at Pele. Pele is around 80 years old. He's still living. And Maradona has just gone at 60. So, I mean, we should learn a very big lesson.
That's true. That's true.
It's
Yeah, sorry to cut in. Etim, I'm going to keep you on. There's a lot we need to glean from you about Diego Maradona, but we need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we're still on the matter, the world coming to terms with the demise of the wizard, the legend, the football genius called Diego Maradona. But we need to go on a break right about now, and we'll return for more on Sports Tonight. I still have Etim Esin with me, and so let's just continue with our conversation. There's something I've always wanted to ask you. I probably would have loved to ask you in person, but I get the opportunity to do that via this program. The fact that you were compared with him, the fact that you that nickname was always with you. Did he put a burden on you? Did he put extra pressure on you in your playing days? Did that, I mean, for you to be likened to Maradona, I mean, I saw some of your clips, I know how good you were, but as a person, was that troublesome? Did it bother you in any way?
It really does, because, I mean, every footballer has a dream. If you were compared to a nickname or AKA African Maradona, it really put a burden on me, and the most painful burden was that I didn't make it to 94 World Cup. You know, we're in the same group with Argentina. That was my greatest regret in football. I would have loved to play against him. And in a story, that is squeezing a question for some of the players in the World Cup. Where is your African Maradona? Where is your black Maradona? He asked a couple of lads, Siasia and Peter Rufai, told me that. But by and large, it was a big burden to wear number 10. I mean, if there was no Maradona, I think Okocha came in and reignited number 10 for him and even take it more globally. So it's just like when you have a Betty Pele from Ghana, nicknamed after the great Pele. There's always that burden wearing number 10 for your country, anyhow you look at it. So it takes a different dimension, a different narrative when you're wearing number 10. You have to make you were always joy to watch. We entertain. We were the entertainers of the game. Even if we didn't get that far. I have a timeless spell. My career was cut short. You all know the story. But, I mean, by the time, even if you watch me play or you didn't watch me play, at least if you watch me play, you know I was a joy to watch. So that was the burden. You always have to perform. You always have to give your best. You always have to make sure you get a result out of any match you're playing. And then we are not the kind of players that we sat on the bench or the substitutors. Throughout my career in the national team, I wasn't substituted. I never sat on the bench. So that was how great it was.
Let me also ask you, the moment those comparisons started, when everything set in, did you at any time try to play like him? Were you so conscious of it that you tried to do some of his tricks, or you tried to be your own person in spite of that comparison, which you've alluded to?
I try to be my own person, but, you know, because we have these stocky legs and we have these big laps, you couldn't take the ball away from us. We're very balanced on the ground. And we do magic with the ball. We can make things that is impossible. I still remember a goal I scored against the Egyptian, the impossible goal from the free kick. So from the corner kick, I mean, we do things with ball that was impossible. I think that's what we had in common, because when you don't expect us to do things, that's when we come up with the magic. So we had things, and I followed him since '86. I followed him all my life. I followed him when he was in Demon's trouble. I followed him. I prayed for him all the time. But I mean, may his soul rest in peace. My life wouldn't be complete without Maradona. So he was part of me. He was like a big brother to me. So, and it was my era. You know, people have their own eras. Pele has his own era, Maradona. Now you're talking about Ronaldo and Messi. They all have their era. So, I mean, it's different. Maybe some other chaps will come up in the future and beat that record. But for the Argentine, for the love, he's just like a demigod in Argentina. He has a church, they worship him. What hasn't he done? When he had a problem, he left Argentina. They say he wanted to make a coup to overthrow the president. He was hosted by the late Cuban president, Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro gets for a while. So he changed the narrative of football to another level. Some people say it was gangster mixing with the mafia and all this. I can perceive that. But I mean, for the statue he owes to the Argentine people, until for the president said he put Argentina in the world map. You know, after that depression of the war, 83 or 84, then 86 was the World Cup. He brought joy. He brought the cup back to Argentina. So I think life will never be low. His legacy will be worthwhile. Forget the other side of the life. We all have vices in our life. I don't judge people about their life. I just judge you for who you are. Let's just judge him for the football he played for the world. It was a unique phenomenon. He's undisputed world number 10. I mean, they compared with Pele, but it also has to teach us a lesson about lifestyle. You get to a stage, you change your lifestyle, you become humble, and you just have to change it for your health-wise. I think health complication issues also take it. At 60, he's gone too soon. At least look at Pele. Pele is still 80 and is still kicking. So that was just my own talk.
All right, still talking about this amazing footballer. A lot of people have said it's going to take a while to get a player in a stature. I mean, I don't know if you think that way as well. Because when people say that, some will say, what about Lionel Messi? And some will say, well, Lionel Messi is good, but not like Maradona. And so I don't know if you agree with that.
Let me just chip in something. Lionel Messi is good, but Maradona was more urban. We played entertainer. You know, I don't know how to put it. Lionel Messi, Ronaldo is good. But if you look at the lifestyle on the pitch, Maradona was just an entertainer. He is a joy to watch. He will do his magic. He will win matches for you. You know, we get you to the World Cup finals. I mean, what else do you want from a player? I saw one clip, I was just laughing. The tackles, if he wasn't strong, he could have had a broken knee for long. He would have had a massive injury. You know, all defenders, the best in the world was after him. So he was on his own. He was on his own planet playing. Until they just make ball, they just make soccer, they just make football for him. And those kind of players comes in once in a while in an era like Messi and Ronaldo now, like when Okocha comes up, they comes once in a while. It will take a time to get those kind of players because it's not easily made. I think it's a joy to see a player that entertains. Okay, let's look at a Nigerian game now. Who is wearing number 10 for Nigeria? Very hard. Because you wear number 10, you must entertain, you must assist, you must score goal. You must make things happen on the team. You don't just wear number 10 and sit on the bench. So that's my take. The new generation should learn a lesson. At least it's a big lesson. But my own story for the death of Diego is just that he gone too soon. The lifestyle, everything in life, we have to try and look at it and look deeply and try to change because, I mean, nothing lasts forever. So it was very sad. I saw what is happening in Argentina. 4 years ago, we lost another greatest boxer, Muhammad Ali. But the aura, the impact Maradona is giving is far, far ahead of Muhammad Ali. The whole world now is talking about Maradona. So for you to see the impact he made in the whole world. So, I mean, the guy was just awesome. It was out of his own league. But, I mean, I don't judge his lifestyle. I just judge him as a human being. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I want to thank you for your time. We can go on and on and on, but I've enjoyed everything that you've said. I'm very sure those listening to us as well have enjoyed this conversation. And we have to stop it at this point, but hopefully we'll get to do this some other time. So I want to thank you for your time.
I called yesterday Black Wednesday.
All right, it was.
Black Wednesday.
It was. All right, thank you. So that's it. We're speaking with former international Etim Esin, the man who was compared with Diego Armando Maradona. It was called the African Maradona. I was privileged to see at the international level, age grade competition. I was privileged to see some of his clips, and it's true what they said. And so you can get to see some of those things. But Bolu, I mean, there's nothing left to say in all that is said. Diego will be sorely missed.
Well, Etim made mention of something that is very key, your lifestyle afterwards. But sometimes it's difficult for these players, especially those that start very early, become a superstar very early, and money is coming in. That's
deal
where
with
you
all
need
of
people
the
around
fame.
you. But before I move on, I saw a story today. A senior colleague said his boss back in the days was fortunate enough to get to Argentina. He went to Maradona's house to show how accommodating he was with his family, that he needed to interview Maradona. But unfortunately, his mom, as at then, was the only one who could speak English. And she was like, she doesn't want to see a black man in her house. It was like, okay, it meant no harm. Just here for an interview. And she was like, nobody interviews the God.
Okay.
It shows how not just the country, even his family sees him as a God. So who are you to just think you can talk to Maradona? So I think he left a huge legacy. And for anyone to feel into that, probably you have to win 3 World Cup for this, like Pele.
Like Pele would say.
But even if you do, I'm not sure we can see another. Maradona's generation is gone. Nothing. You can come and probably beat his record or whatever, but I'm not sure you can replace that name Maradona.
All right. Like I said, we could go on and on and on. It's very interesting talking about Diego Maradona, but it's even hard for me to talk about him in the past tense, but that's what we have to do. But we need to move on the show. Let's talk about the best FIFA awards nominees already unveiled. I'm going to put Bolu on the spot. Let's quickly reel out, try our best to pace up. That's it. We started with the men's player nominees. Thiago Alcantara, Cristiano Ronaldo, Kevin De Bruyne, Robert Lewandowski, Sadio Mane, some other guys still in the mix, Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Neymar, and Sergio Ramos. Always mixing it with the guys. So that's it. Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk. Okay, let me not make it difficult for you. Top 3.
First off, I tell people...
It's just Bolu's opinion, so
yeah,
anything you say is right.
Many people disagree with me, and I tell them that last season Liverpool won the league. They were outstanding and everything. But interestingly, their players individually were not outstanding like they were 2 years ago. But it's difficult for you not to rate them because they won the league first in 30 years. You cannot ignore Kevin De Bruyne, the best player in the Premier League by a mile, ahead of everyone. Thiago Alcantara, well, there's nothing new to say. Remember at the point he was on the bench. But due to the injury of the right back, he had to come into the mix where Kimmich went back, and he was solid. If you can't remember nothing, for the final, you could say this boy is a baller. Liverpool had to go all out to get him. I think he deserved to be there. Ronaldo battled it out to win the highest scorer in this area, but he could not, thanks to Ciro Immobile, who decided he would keep scoring. And Juventus won the league. But the only problem I have in this top 10 is Lionel Messi.
Okay.
I like Messi, but Messi should not be on the list for 2020 because he just scored post-lockdown. He scored his only goal from open play, I think, last week for both club and country.
All right.
He's awesome. So for me, I think my top 3, this is hard. Definitely Robert Lewandowski has won out. I'm being pushed to say Sergio Ramos for Real Madrid winning the league. His goals, he scored, the records, he said everything last year. If he gets there, I won't be surprised. And Neymar, too, for helping PSG get to the final of the Champions League. But I think 3 of Lewandowski, Ramos, Neymar, and De Bruyne should make the top 3.
Okay, that's Bolu's speak. Let's talk about the women quickly. Women and the list: Lucy Bronze. You have a lot of them. Caroline Hansen. You have, stellar names. This one probably be a lot easier for you. Your picks?
I have a problem with this
as well.
For whatever reason, Asisa Oshola, I think, should be there.
Okay,
because like they say, numbers speak for themselves. And we have 2 Barcelona players here.
Is it the Nigerian that you're speaking?
Not. That's why I said numbers speak for itself. Asisa Oshola probably has almost 100% goal-to-game ratio for Barcelona. Okay. And I think I saw her tweet this morning. I was just laughing that, well, she's laughing that numbers speak for itself. At least, if for nothing, the Barcelona players here, our stats are more superior than the Barcelona players who made it to this list. But you can't take anything away from the likes of Lucy Bronze and everyone. But it's hard to also pick, but I think for whatever reason, I'll go for Lucy Bronze. She's been very close to winning it for a while. So I won't be surprised if she gets it.
I'll make sure you're here immediately after the awards are handed out. Let's go on and talk about the men, the coaches. And this time I'll allow Bolu just go straight and pick one. Marcelo Bielsa for Leeds. You have Hans Flick, Bayern. You have Jurgen Klopp for Liverpool. Julen Lopetegui, Sevilla. Yeah, Zinedine Zidane. That man is yet to earn his respect from a lot of people, but it should be in this mix. So pick one quickly.
I think I'll go for Hansi Flick. For a man winning the treble, he has won more trophies than the games he has lost.
Yeah,
it's difficult. Remember, I came on, I think November or December last year, and he changed everything. He's one of the coaches that this is my formation, nothing changes it. Yeah. He picked his first 11, and the only thing that changes anything is maybe suspension or injuries. So winning 3 trophies and plus the Super Cup, everything, I think it has to be Hansi Flick.
All right, ladies, let's go to the women and take a look at the women's coach. Bolu, your pick?
Women's football. Club side, I don't think anything beats Olympic Lyon for now. So I think it has to be Johan Luc for the Women's Coach of the Year.
All right, welcome back. We're on the home stretch. It's time to take a look at some stories on the domestic scene. And let's start with the volleyball Super Cup. Let's quickly give you some results, and Bolu will tell us the implication of what we have on screen. Nigeria Customs beat Kano Pillars as the men's final result. So, any surprises?
At all, I think for male and female, the top team in quotes is the NSCDC and Custom. They are choking head, but I like the way they split. 1-1 for male, the other one for women. No surprise at all. 3-0, no break. They didn't drop a set at all. And the one that dropped set a bit is the third place match between NSCDC and the Sunshine Sparks, which ended 3-1 for the men NSCDC. But obviously, their women did what they could not do. Like they say, what the man can do, man can do better.
All right. Let's go to the women quickly. Let's talk about the ladies. And the final result for the ladies, and like Bolu quite rightly said, NSCDC beat Nigeria Customs. And I guess, like you said, probably no surprise as well.
Yeah, at all. Well, I thought Coates, the chief of army staff, could get to the final, but they lost. And in the third place, they won straight 3-0 against Kada Emerald. So I think it's a good start for them in the Super Cup. Now, we've been talking about handball. Now it's volleyball.
Yeah.
Well, I think I like the progress step by step. Everyone is moving on. No surprise here. Good win for both the men and the women. And let's see when the competition proper would start.
All right. Let's quickly talk about AfroBasket qualifiers. We're done with volleyball. The tournament has ended. So let's quickly talk about AfroBasket qualifiers. The good news from D Tigers. Of course, they won their game today. It's on the 656 win over South Sudan. 20-point victory. Their next game is against host nation Rwanda on Saturday. But a good one for the Tigers.
Well, first off, they just have to play well, not because Nigeria have to win or anything, but most of these guys are not part of the major team in quotes, so they have to prove the coach wrong. You can't tell me a coach like Mike Brown doesn't know talent. He's
when he sees
too experienced, so I think it's more like the boys know what is at stake, and they have to give their best. They won 3 of the 4 quarters, only lost the 3rd quarter, and the final one was more like a stroll. I think it was 27 or thereabout. So they know what is at stake. They know Olympics, 2020 Tokyo Olympics, which will be played 2021, is at stake. So I won't be surprised if they stroll throughout this event to qualify for AfroBasket.
So you think these guys see this as a shop window?
Yeah, something like that. You have to convince the coach. Many basketball followers, many NBBF followers have told us that these guys, none of them will make it to the Olympic Games. But I keep telling them, if you convince the coach enough at this tournament, he has no choice. He just have to give you a shot.
All right, so we'll look in your direction. All right, we keep monitoring the D Tigers, especially as they play host nation Rwanda in their next game. Our last stop on the show tonight, Edo 2020. The rumors have been flying around, and critical stakeholders are telling us that they've not been informed about anything of sort. Let's quickly go to Delta State and listen to the Delta State Sports Commission Chairman, Tonobok Okoa, quickly set the tone for us as we prepare to wrap things up on the show.
Rumor or information is being filtering into their ears, and here in Delta, already there's a negative reaction to it. I can tell you that I've received phone calls from a lot of media people. I've received phone calls from Athletes Union that they are not going to accept that fact. And I've tried as much as possible to let them know that nobody has called it off yet, that the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports have not given us any signal to close camp, because I know that a lot of states are already in camp. And they also need to know that apart from the athletes, the governors that have been spending money, bringing out money to prepare for this, they are not too happy about it. I know that they will not be too happy about it. They called it off the first time after spending money to put them in camp and prepare for the competition to hold, and they called it off. Now again, people are already in camp, about a week or just a little more than 1 week. They are about, people are talking about they're going to call it off again. I'm not going to say yes that they're going to call it off until we receive a signal or receive clearance that, hey, it's not going to hold. I'm still hopeful that it will hold.
All right, so the question is to be or not to be chairman of the Delta State Sports Commission, Tonoba Kokoa, setting the tone for us. And that's a wrap on the show today. Before I go, I want to thank Bolo Money for his time on the show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, Gage.
Hopefully we'll do this some other time.
Yeah, definitely.
I promise on live TV. All right, thank you. All right, thank you as well for allowing us to be a part of the day. We enjoyed this, and we do sincerely hope that it was worth your while. We'll be here again tomorrow. I'm your Madabai. Bye-bye now.